Hello, this is Bobbert, and I'm going to do a review on a system that, though it is slightly old, is one of the more famous of Nintendo's consoles. You guessed it, the Nintendo 64 system. It's actually quite small for the consoles, wider and longer than the GameCube, but very thin, very thin. A little bigger than the Wii. It doesn't sit on its side either. But the power adapter cord is another story. This thing is lunky. This is the part that plugs in. This is the part that plugs into the wall. I think when they were making this, Nintendo was trying to have it so you could plug more than one adapter into the wall, and you wouldn't have those chunky power adapters like the ones on the Super Nintendo. So of course they put the chunky power adapter so it's going into the system. Goes in there like that. There's the AV cable, but that's not really a matter because it's the same as all the other ones. Tested because my brother and I switched our AV cables. I put the AV cable for his Super Nintendo in my Nintendo 64 and it works perfectly. So they're all the same. Then there's the controller, which is the Nintendo 64 is famous for. It has its three-pronged, very GameCube-esque, but it has another prong in the middle. You'd think that would be held like this, but no, like that. Unless you have three hands, then you can hold it like whatever, however you want. However three-handed people hold Nintendo 64 controllers. The main buttons, mainly all games, you will use it like this. It's not very left-handed friendly. You just have to play it right-handed. The A button's usually main, B, and then there's the C, which is unlike the GameCube. The GameCube, the C, is a stick that you move around, like the main control stick in the middle here. But the Nintendo 64 has the C buttons, up, down, left, and right. And then they have the D-pad over here, which isn't really used for much. And in some games it does the same as the C stick, or C buttons. And then there's the pause button, which is in the middle, and is red, which is what confused me when I first started playing the GameCube. I thought the B was the pause button. Yeah. And then there's the L and R on the sides, right where you think they'd be. And Z is in the middle, which is usually for games like the fire button, because what you use, you're holding it like that, and you use your finger from your left hand to pull the fire button, thumb from your left hand to steer or whatever. And then you use these to do other stuff. There's also a number of different add-ons for the Nintendo 64, such as the memory card, two of those, they're different sizes, and the Rumble Pack, because the Nintendo 64, though it was an advanced system, they did not have the Rumble Pack built into the system. So you had to buy a Rumble Pack separately, which took its own batteries. So you got to replace the Rumble Pack's batteries every once in a while, as well as the batteries of the memory cards, which are... I'm having trouble putting the thing back on. The batteries of the memory cards, which, though they don't last very long, they're basically just like the little system batteries that are in that just have the memory, power the memory thing. Also, there is this thing, which is very odd. You plug the Game Boy Color games, or Game Boy Original games, into here, and then this end, yeah, all these, you'd think that plug into the system. No, they plug into the bottom of the controller, making it even more strange looking. So it's like that's with the transfer pack, which you can transfer files from other games such as Pokemon. You can transfer your Pokemon from that game to the other one. Rumble Pack makes it rather unbalanced, kind of heavy in the front. And the memory cards They just kind of stick in there. They're not that weird. Anyway, for games, I have 3 so far. These are the ones that I bought. The first one I bought was James Bond, The World Is Not Enough, which is a very fun game. It's not, apparently, the GoldenEye is even funner for the Nintendo 64, but this one is also quite fun. Banjo-Kazooie, which, though it seems rather little kiddish, it's actually quite a fun game. And Lego Racers, which also it seems kind of little kiddish, but yeah, it's a fun game. So now I'm going to plug this into the TV and show you the gameplay.